Bitcoin, an investment that is crazy and profitable. What is it? Is it sustainable? Is it really as good as people make it out to be? It's crazy to think that if you invested $100 in Bitcoin in 2009, then it would be worth nearly $4.2 million today. Bitcoin was created by an unknown group of people known as Satoshi Nakamoto. Many economists have advised not to buy Bitcoin. Selling price was at $13,000 per Bitcoin. It means that not many people wanted it. Every category of Bitcoin is checked off high besides if it's government issued, twice as fast as the fastest supercomputer. Bitcoin is something that I never really considered investing in. I never saw it as something that could do too well for me. I focus on things that will make me a lot of money now, but will last for a very long time. Something like real estate or the stock market or bonds. Something that I know for sure will give me good returns. Since Bitcoin is so new, I don't really trust it as much as other investments. We haven't talked about this on Don't Fear Finance at all, but I think it's about time. Welcome everyone to Don't Fear Finance. Bitcoin is a crazy investment to say the least, but since its creation, it has made many millionaires. It's crazy to think that if you invested $100 in Bitcoin in 2009, then it would be worth nearly $4.2 million today. There are cases of people who have made a fortune off of investing $1,000 into Bitcoin 12 years ago. Enough of the chit chat, let's get into the stuff that you really came here for. Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a type of cryptocurrency. What this means is that it is a digitalized currency. It doesn't have any centralized bank or any place where it can be given out or stored except for the Bitcoin network. The main way that Bitcoin is transferred and moved around is through peer-to-peer lending on that Bitcoin network. Bitcoin was created by an unknown group of people known as Satoshi Nakamoto. Bitcoin has its own software where you can buy it through people online, so you never have to worry about meeting people in person or handling the physical item. To make sure that they aren't being stolen or being sold under the radar, any crypto or Bitcoin that is sold will be recorded in the public records. You are able to buy Bitcoin through any type of currency, product, or service. Bitcoin can be confused with crypto as it's the most sold and bought type of crypto, so it's easier to relate Bitcoin with its generic name. There is a major downside to having a type of currency online, and it's to do with illegal transactions. There have been so many reports of illegal buying and selling of Bitcoin on the black market, as well as scams going around where people just steal your money or your Bitcoin. This includes AI and other sources to steal this without the main tracker of Bitcoin knowing. Many economists have advised not to buy Bitcoin due to this volatility and the risk of scams going around. Before we get into another part of this video, let's talk about the history of Bitcoin for a bit. Bitcoin.org was created on August 18, 2008 by an unknown group of individuals called Satoshi Nakamoto. Although it was released on August 18th, no one knew it was them until a paper was released on October 31st exposing them for being the creators of Bitcoin. On the 3rd of January 2009, the group released its first Bitcoin on an open world source. It was said that Satoshi Nakamoto had mined over 1 million Bitcoin before disappearing and handing the key site over to Gavin Anderson in 2010. In 2011 and 2012, the first major users of Bitcoin were on the black markets. A good example was through Silk Road. Silk Road did nearly 9.9 million transactions, which was worth up to $214 million worth of Bitcoin on the black market. This is when the Bitcoin network came into play with its tracking software. In 2011 and 2012, there were many examples of volatility in Bitcoin that investors were warning people about. From the beginning of 2011 to 2012, the value of Bitcoin went from 33 cents up to $31. Throughout those 24 months, Bitcoin lost a lot of value and gained a lot of value. From 2013 to 2014, a lot of investors saw the potential in Bitcoin. The value of Bitcoin went from $13.30 in 2013 to $770 at the beginning of 2014. The price of Bitcoin were all over the place in the coming years, but as we have seen, the value of Bitcoin has gone up by a crazy percentage since 2014. By the end of 2019, the selling price was at $13,000 per Bitcoin. And as of today, the value of Bitcoin is at $38,786 per Bitcoin. As the years have gone on, and Bitcoin has proved to show that it can yield great returns for those who invested it at its lows, people have begun to invest in it a lot more and have begun to want to have it as a part of their investing portfolio. As the law of supply and demand states, the more something is wanted, the higher the value is of that product. That is why Bitcoin has gone up so much in the past few years. How does Bitcoin gain its value? Just like many valuables that are sold in the marketplace, the price of Bitcoin is determined by the supply and demand of it. When the price is really low, like when it first came out, it means that not many people wanted it. When the price is high, on the other hand, many people want it. Although the demand of crypto, and more specifically Bitcoin, changes, the supply can sometimes lack in quantity. There are many reasons. During the early days of Bitcoin, there were a lack of mining companies to mine up Bitcoin and sell on the Bitcoin network. There are now Bitcoin mining companies where their entire company structure is on mining Bitcoin and selling it. Supply and demand is a very prominent way to know and to tag the value of Bitcoin. When people are determining the value of the currency, there is a list of things that they check off to see if the value of the currency is high or low. This includes, is it interchangeable? Is it non-consumable? Does it have high profitability? Does it have high portability? Is it durable? Is it highly divisible? Is it secure? Is it easily transactable? Is it scarce? Is it government issued? Is it decentralized? And is it programmable? If any of these categories are checked off high, then it's good. And if any of these categories are checked off low, then it's not. If they're checked off moderate, then it is okay. Every category of Bitcoin is checked off high besides if it's government issued. Compared to other forms of currency, that is incredible. The US dollar and gold are a mix of both high, moderate, and lows. This is another way and reason why Bitcoin is so valuable. Is Bitcoin sustainable? Well, there are many answers to this question. People are saying that it is sustainable because the Bitcoin network is twice as fast as the fastest supercomputer. This means that now that we're watching and buying a lot of things over the internet, we will need a fast way to transfer currency online. So people are saying Bitcoin will become a normal type of online currency. That's what I personally believe. I feel that Bitcoin won't be an investment that is going to be sustainable, but more of a currency that will evolve into something that we use daily. As an investment, I think that it won't last as long as people are predicting, but it will definitely create many more millionaires in the time that it is a good investment. This is my opinion and only that. No one, including me, knows if Bitcoin is going to be a good investment or not in the future. Only time will tell. So let's see what happens in Bitcoin's future. In the past few weeks, I've seen an increasing number of stories on Bitcoin and people making a lot of money from Bitcoin off of early investments. There was one story where someone had made nearly $240 million worth of Bitcoin in the past 12 years, but forgot his password to the Bitcoin network where he could cash in. That must really suck to lose so much. There was another story where a teenager stole a bunch of Bitcoin through hacking into people's accounts. I don't know how much he stole or who he stole from, but he definitely stole millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin from many accounts. He got caught and now is being sued by the people he stole from. Moral of the story, don't steal. That's the video for today. I learned a lot about Bitcoin and how it works while making this video. Don't go buying investments that you don't understand, because although there are many success stories of people making a lot of money off of Bitcoin, there are many people who lost everything because of Bitcoin. Invest in things that you know a lot about, not just things that other people understand and want you to invest in. This was a heavy video filled with information about the history of Bitcoin and the prices and how to find the value of Bitcoin and if it's sustainable. This video was important to make before I could make more videos on Bitcoin. Thank you again for watching until the end. Make sure to like and subscribe with those notifications on. Comment down below saying that you did, and I'll see you in the next video.